Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about EXORDIA by Seth Dickinson. EXORDIA is a standalone science fiction novel from the author of the Masquerade series, starting with the creator Baru Cormorant, a series that I'm really looking forward to rereading at some point in the next couple of years here for Bar Cart Bookshelf, though, as we'll discuss, it's a unique challenge making a drink from Dickinson's work. And it is just a truly remarkable sci-fi novel. It is a period piece, and we have to call things period pieces now when they are set in 2013, because, oh my god, that's a decade ago. Set firmly in the milieu of the Obama era, of Barack Obama's second term. It is a story of first contact, of alien encounters, and of ethics. The ethics of drone warfare, the ethics of intervention, the ethics of colonialism and expansion and refugee crises, and at the same time it is a ripping, high-octane, exciting adventure dripping with body horror and multi-headed snake aliens and weird doubling of pupils and tripling of navels, and just deeply fun, weird stuff. And it really says something about the quality and the thoughtfulness of the novel, that it's about, genocide and expansion and refugee crises and the ongoing guilt of empire, and it's still very, very fun. It's just truly hitting at that intersection of a deeply thoughtful and important piece of speculative fiction, and something that is a rip-roaring adventure of a read, and a testament to Dickinson's skill as a writer, something that, if you're familiar with the Masquerade series and the Trader Baru Cormorant, should come as no surprise. They are very different books, his fantasy work and his science fiction. At the same time, they are very noticeably similar in this preoccupation with the ways that we interact with systems, the expansion and growth of cancers and tumors, and these biological processes. And just a really remarkable work. It is a standalone novel, but it opens out onto a broader universe, and it is a book that leaves you wholly satisfied and also, gloriously accepting of more if more were to come. Just a truly remarkable book, and I'm so glad that I've had a chance to read it early and to talk about it on its release day. As I mentioned earlier, it has this sort of challenge in creating a drink. Science fiction traditionally is more of a challenge for us here at Bar Cart Bookshelf. Science fiction is less interested in flavor and food ways than fantasy is, and so we get a little bit less to work with. But also, EXORDIA just lends itself to another medium so well. Sometimes man, I wish I were a different sort of artist, a different sort of creator, a different sort of adapter of text, because EXORDIA is a book that wants to be a perfume, like a weird perfume, but it wants to be sharp and aggressive and to linger on the skin and be something sort of tactile but also ephemeral. In a way that is different from a drink, is different from a cocktail. It's, metal accord and some light spice notes, and we'll see some of those light spice notes and like base notes of serpentine musk and sharp ozone ooze, like aggressive, palpable scent. Not something for everyone, but something distinctive and powerful, and I had such a grand time with it. Nevertheless, we are not makers of perfume here. We are makers of cocktails and mocktails, and we have a drink inspired by EXORDIA. And so, without any further ado, why don't we turn to today's drink. Today's drink is a shaken cocktail called Serendure. It is named for one of the 7 passions, or sort of archetypal stories, relationship dynamics in the universe, in this sort of narrative-driven science fiction universe. And it is the idea of finding the reflection of the self in the other, finding this commonality, this sort of binary star relationship, this fitting together. So let's get started. I'm going to start with 1 ounce of aged rum. This is just the backbone of our cocktail. Lovely. And then our modifiers. We're going to get 1/2 ounce of Alta Verde Amaro. This is the super bitter, piney Amaro. It's going to bring a lot of bitterness and a touch of sweetness, because it is still, you know, an Amaro. It's not purely bitter, but this pininess, we see a lot of the action set in Kurdistan, in the sort of Zagros Mountains. So we've got this sort of piney quality coming on along. We also have some pistachios in the form of 1/2 ounce of pistachio liqueur. This is a sweet liqueur, a nutty, floral, very springy, and it's going to bring a nice bit of sweetness to our Serendure in balancing out the rest of the bitterness. Then we will get 1/2 ounce of coffee liqueur. I'm using my homemade coffee liqueur, but you can use Kahlua as well. I would recommend, if you have a sweeter tooth, to go for something like that Kahlua rather than a darker, richer, more bitter coffee, because that sweetness is going to help balance out some of our other more bitter, aggressive ingredients. I like that extra punch, so I'm going with the homemade here. Finally, we'll get, well, not quite finally, we're going to get a few dashes of Angostura bitters, those baking spice notes, cinnamon, clove, allspice. Again, we're getting this real blend of the bitter-sweet going on here. And to balance things out, I have a 1/4 cup of whole milk yogurt. We'll just get that down in there. Use our Hawthorne strainer if you can't quite scoop. Lovely. And that's going to bring a bit of a tang to our drink, but also it's going to help moderate some of those bitter elements as well. So we're getting this sharpness, this bitterness, all coming together in a nice balanced way. We're going to ice down in there. And because the whole milk yogurt is thicker than whole milk or heavy cream, we are going to want to give that a good long shake. And a good, solid, hard shake. Lovely. Give that a tap. Super. And strain our liquid back into the small tin. There we go. And discard our ice. Now we are going to cap that again and shake it up. This is going to give us an extra froth, extra foam. This is what's called the reverse dry shake, It gives that extra structure when you've got the dairy in there, and really just makes it lighter, more ephemeral, the sort of drink that you could use to fly into space. Lovely. And a good solid shake on that. Give it a tap. You can smell that tang of the yogurt. You can smell these sort of herbal and baking spice qualities of our bitters and our Amaro. And we strain into an old-fashioned glass. To finish things off, we're going to garnish with just a sprinkling of freshly ground ginger. That ground dried ginger, give that a nice swirl, because that always makes your garnish look a little bit better. And there you have it. This is the Serendure, inspired by EXORDIA by Seth Dickinson. EXORDIA is available now, is available today. A huge thank you to the publisher, Tor.com, for sending me an advance copy so that I could talk about one of my most anticipated books of the year. I've got a link to snag the book in the description down below, as well as links to various forms of social media, including Twitter and Instagram, where there's always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink, let me know what you think. Go out and read EXORDIA. You're really gonna love it. If you like what we do here at Bar Cart Bookshelf, hit that like button. It really does make me so very happy. Tell all of your friends about what we do at Bar Cart Bookshelf. We've got so much exciting stuff coming in the months ahead, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. So until next time, cheers.